Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Getting Started with Elite Dangerous. And in this episode we'll be covering mining, a brand new feature brought into Beta 3. And it's a pretty funky feature, although tedious for some, fun for others. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but just like mining and other games such as EVE Online, it has its niche. Some people prefer to play that kind of game, some people prefer all the action, but nevertheless I'm going to show you how it's done within Elite Dangerous and show you really how to get started doing it. So this ship that I have here is a hauler. I actually spent a bit of money to prepare this ship designed specifically for mining. I spent around about 100k or so. It wasn't that much. So I'm going to show you what I have equipped on this ship and we can go from there. So as you can see, obviously you need a mining laser. Now the mining laser doesn't work just on its own. You also need to have, if I scroll down, a refinery. Now the refinery is what holds the raw ores, the raw minerals, those chunks that you get off of those asteroids, and it then refines it into ores or into ingots or whatever it is that, whichever mineral that you're using. So if you have one but not the other, then you're not going to be able to get anything really done. So you need to have both the refinery and the mining laser. Now, just like all the other weapons and all the other modules, you can get better versions of each item. So I'm using this refinery. I don't know if I can get into the details. Let's have a look. This one here is I'm using. It has 2 refinery bins, as you can see there. Now, the refinery bins allows you to refine multiple multiple minerals at the same time. If you just have one, say you got a chunk of that mineral that comes off the asteroid. Now it can have a percentage of one type of mineral and a percentage of the other. But if you only have one refinery bin, you'll have to scrap, like you say, the lower percent. If you have 2, you can actually refine both at the same time. So I would advise going for 2 refinery bins because you're actually making the most. You could even go for 3, but then again, you really need to find those asteroids that have more minerals. So I would suggest starting off with 2. It's not that expensive. You see here, it's 54,000 credits. You can make that back pretty quickly if you find some palladium deposits or some gold deposits, which is always nice to have. And the actual mining laser, it's just a basic one here. I didn't actually see an upgraded version, but then again, you don't really need it. It takes maybe 5 to 7 seconds before the chunk comes off the asteroid. It's not too bad. You can also have 2 mining lasers, but again, there's no point because you have to pick each one up. But I'll show you that in a bit. There's also one other thing, the cargo rack. Now, obviously, you want to collect as much as possible. If you only have, say, 4 tons worth of capacity, then once you've actually collected 4 tons, you have to go all the way back, and then you have to come all the way back again to start the mining again. So to save that multiple trip, just get a bigger cargo rack. So that's why I'm using the hauler here, because it actually has 2. So I've actually got a capacity of 8 tons to be able to hold my ores. So without further ado, I'm going to show you which system I'm currently in. I'm actually in the exits. There we go. I'm actually in the Styx system. It's still within the first 50 star systems that first came out with the beta, but you can explore further. Obviously, the further out you go, the richer the mineral deposits you're going to find, because in the main central hub areas, you're not going to find as much like rare minerals or rich minerals compared to what you find them outside of that 50 systems, because, well, there's less people out there and less people mining. Especially playing an open play, there's going to be a lot of miners. Again, for these getting started videos, I play in a solo play or private group, and but nevertheless, I'm going to go out, we're going to find an asteroids belt, and we're going to do some mining, and I'm going to show you how it all works. Okay, so before we head to the asteroid field, I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to actually identify decent star systems to go to start mining. Now, the reason why I'm in Styx is because, one, it's actually closer to me, and I don't actually have the cartographics to go further out. Because if you go to the system view, for example, I'll just click on this. This contains all the information about the star system that you're currently located, or the one that you just clicked on. Now, the further out you go, the undiscovered star systems are not going to show you all the planets or all the moons or any of the asteroid belts within that star system. You actually have to discover it before you go there. Alternatively, you can buy the cartographics from any station that owns the cartographic for that area. Now we can go into more on that in a later video when we talk about exploration. But for now, the best way to identify it is to look for these rings. Okay. Also planets with rings going around them. When you click on one of these planets, it comes up here on the left, ring type. Now this is a rocky ring type. And you can get then, I think for rocky you're talking about bauxite, for example, or cobalt. So the less expensive, the cheaper rocks to mine. But if we have a look at this asteroid belt here, the ring type is metallic. Now metallic, you're going to get gold, palladium. Now that's going to be a very nice place to actually start mining. This is why I'm here. I am in solo play, so we're going to find a decent amount of palladium and gold, for example. And yeah, so you just really need to go through each of these starters to go, okay, so what we have here, we have ice. We can't get anything from ice. We've got metallic, we've got rocky, we've got this. You need to really think about what type of mineral you're going to want to mine. Find that system, travel there, and start mining it. But do be aware for other players, for example, because if you are in those, the central systems, you're going to find that the resources are depleting quicker than, say, a system that's further out of the main core systems. So let's head over to this ring. It's closer to the sun, so it's going to take a while to get there. But I'll meet you there, and we'll show you how to actually start mining. Okay, so here we are in a small ring cluster near the sun. Now, you can see there's only a few little asteroids here. So we would need to have a look at each one and see basically which one is going to look the prettiest, because right now they don't have any sort of scanner for the rocks. So the only real way to figure out what mineral it contains is by actually mining at it. I'm sure they'll add some sort of scanner later on in the game, because right now this is, again, like the basic form of mining. They've only just added it, so we really can't expect to have everything fleshed out right from the beginning. Now what I'm actually finding is that the richer minerals are actually in the smaller little asteroids. So I'm actually going to go over to this one here and see how it looks. I'm going to get to the other side of it so the sun isn't actually glaring in my face when I'm mining. So if we can get there, because my hauler is a little bit slow. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Ah, too close. I don't fly the hauler that often, so we'll take a quick look at this little asteroid. Oh, this one looks very pretty here. So, we're at this little asteroid here, so the only real way to check what's in here is to actually start mining it. Now my mining laser is a weapon, and I don't have any other weapons because this ship only has one hard point. And it's a bit dangerous because it does leave you a bit, defenseless, so if you get interdicted you really need to escape. But let's start mining on this thing and see what happens. So we've got to keep going until we hear that thunk. There it is. So this is gallite. I'm not too sure how much that's actually worth. But we just release our cargo scoop. And we don't usually supposed to smash right into it. This is the problem, like people have been asking for some sort of tractor beam. Because mining is slow enough as it is. But okay. I'm going to reverse away from this asteroid. So we've just collected this resource. Now we need to go into the cargo hold and we need to have a look and see what happens. So we've got gallite and bertrandite, 10% each. So to start refining it, we just click it. And now both of them are being refined. If you have, like for example, I have 2 refined slots in this, so I can actually refine both at the same time. But if you have more, then you actually need to eject the spare before you can pick up the next resource. So that's 10%, so we need to start mining again to see what else I can get. Hopefully it's the same, because it starts adding up. So we'll just wait for that pop. There we go. And a gallite again. Now the last time I was here I was actually getting palladium. So, but we'll see what we can get from this. There we go. Now I didn't have to go back into my refinery here to start adjusting it all, because the resource already contained gallite and bertrandite, which I'm already processing. So it automatically added it to the processing list. If I had any other mineral within there, I would have to go into my cargo hold here and eject the spare mineral, which I don't want to process. Okay, so we're almost there. I think this is the last one I'll actually need, so we'll pick this up. Oh, okay, maybe not, just need one more. Now you need to remember that with the mining laser, it acts just like every other weapon. So if you put more power into systems and engines with no power and weapons, you're not going to be able to mine for as long as you normally can. So I would suggest when there's no other players around or anything like that, just stick all your power into weapons. It allows you to mine for longer. Okay, so I think that's the last one I need. So I show you my cargo hold right now. It's about 94%. Keep an eye on that. Okay. So as you can see, I got bertrandite, 1 ton of bertrandite now automatically processed because I hit that 100% threshold. Now that I've got that, I need to reassign that empty slot that I have, because I have 2 slots to start processing. So I just need to click on this again to start refining. It's quite simple. And this is generally the process. You just got to keep going and going and going until your cargo builds up, and then you simply go and sell. Now, I will mention right now there is a small issue that I personally don't like, because the whole asteroid fields right now, they're dynamic. So you can go out, you can come straight back into the same location, and you'll have different minerals available. So if you see minerals that you don't like, as I said, I was in this exact same system earlier on, and there was palladium. But now I'm getting, bertrandite and gallite. I could go out, come back in, and then there would be different minerals. It would most likely be the same minerals, but again, it's not the same. So I'm sure this is something that they'll change later on. Again, this is still very early in the whole mining phase because they haven't added everything in there. Nevertheless, right now, it is a bit too dynamic. So we're hoping for a more static environment, so you can go in and it will basically be what it says it's supposed to be. So while mining here, I actually found palladium. Now palladium is very expensive, and you don't really want to be crashing into it like I just did. So I'm going to pick up this palladium. It's 10% palladium, 10% indite. You can see the stats at the bottom left of my screen, just to the left of the cargo scooper. And what I'm going to do is, you see the little things that I've got highlighted here. This is to eject the current, processing. So I'm going to eject bertrandite, and I'm going to assign palladium. And I've still got unallocated resources, so I'm also going to vent the indite. So we'll go back to that same rock where I was just mining. See, this is basically mining in a nutshell. You just keep mining until you find some resources that you like. And you keep going at it until your cargo hold is full, and then you start selling. There's my palladium. So I'm going to keep going at this, see if I can get the palladium full, and then we'll just go and sell. Okay, so here we are at Chew Hub, which is the new station in Styx, and we are going to sell our 2 tons, not much, tons of good. So we are going to go to the commodities market. Because it's not stolen, you've processed this, you've obtained it legally, so you need to sell it on the commodities market. So we've got here the bertrandite. Now bertrandite is pretty good, that's 2.5k a pop. So we're going to sell that. And we are also going to sell our palladium for 14,000. So it's pretty good. In the 10 minutes I spent mining, I've already earned 16,000, 17,000 credits. So if you find that sweet spot, what do you want to do with it? If you go out discovering and you found a system with very rich deposits, are you going to sell that cartography? What you've just discovered to stations where other players can buy it and then know about it? Or are you going to try and keep it to yourself? It's really your decision. So anyway, that's the basics of mining. If you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and all that jazz. In the meantime, fly safe.